Oh, hello. Welcome back to the grind. Here I am. 1976 BMW 2002. And there's some lights working on it now, which is a good news. Headlights work. I can turn them on. Wait a sec, I'll turn them on. Need the ignition on for headlights to work. That's headlights. Hey. And flash, high beams, so, or low beams, I don't know which is which there. I think that's low beams, hey? Anyway, pretty good. Does a high beam light at work in the dash cluster? No. Oh yeah, it does. Got little blue lights on in there. Good. Cool. All right, so that part's working. No blinker lights yet. I don't know. There's some wiring there to do, so we'll figure that out as we go along. Headed out for a spin this week, just out in the field, out and around and about, and it runs pretty nice. Runs really nice. Still won't idle right, so we'll just see what we can do about that down the way. I've done a bunch of trying to get it to tune right, and I've also worked a bunch on timing it. But there's a you're supposed to time it down that hole down there, and I haven't got it figured out yet to how to do that. So one of these days I will figure it out. More work on the fuses to get the lights working right, but I got that sorted out, and then other stuff. So stick around, see everything I did. I don't even remember all the things I've done because it's been over a couple of weeks here. So enjoy it. Like, subscribe. See you later. Have fun. Bye. Okay, after yesterday's fairly successful and it's gone. That's last week's video. There's another air leak right here that I didn't discover yesterday. So plug that in, see if I can make this thing run a little bit better even again than what it was yesterday, because it was running pretty nice even with that one air leak in it. Now I don't know where that would go, that one. Maybe it, who knows. I'll find that might be like, that might have been for the California emission things. Okay, anyhow. And then I have to hook up the accelerator over there. See how that hooks on there? This thing here, actually it's quite easy and good because you don't have to take things apart. Oh, you got to get it right though. Hang on, I'll get that right. Yeah, there. I put the fuse box back in. It's just held by a screw here, and there's two clippy things that hold it at that side. Then this is back on its right spot. This thing here, I don't know if you can see that. I'll just put a bit of lube on that because I think that's not, it's needs a bit of lube. I think it's running pretty good now. I think it might be around 900 RPM. I'm not sure. I've ordered a proper pack, because these things are all over the place. I don't know why. I think they're getting, it's an induction thing, and I think it's getting lots of interference from other, like that. I think it's a 970 weight number, but who knows, right? I think they're getting an interference from elsewhere. Anyway, as I put it on coil wire, and divide by 4, that would likely be right, eh? Okay. So it's at jumping around 3,800. Put this on a 2-cylinder thing. Cylinder, 2 cylinders, I don't know, can't tell. Okay, it's all over the place. So anyway, I'll leave it at that for now. I've got a pack coming, and I ordered a thing from Rimmer Brothers that will measure the CO2 gas out the back, and not an expensive item, and that might help getting it tuned up properly, because it's supposed to be able to get it around the 900 mark, then take that knob and the one in there and tune it up so that you get so many bazillion bits of carbon coming out the back end, or CO2 coming out the back end. Anyway, running pretty good. I think that, let's see if the temperature gauge is, yeah, it's not, well, it's warm, but it's not hot. Temperature gauge is moved, and the fuel gauge, I put more fuel in it, so the fuel is above the R. And we're not going any miles per hour, so that's okay. Alrighty, let that be for now. Yeah, so when the accelerator goes, no problem. I'll go and stick this by the muffler and then give it a couple of revs and see what it sounds like, eh? See what happens back here.
Don't know what'll happen here.
We'll find out later when I look at the video. Oh, okay, that's all that for now. Yeah, so air cleaner. And this thing here goes on those two bolts there. So they have to come off, and then put that on to go with it. And then the air cleaner sits in there. This piece here I already found one other place and put it on there. So it's coming together. Then I won't, I'll put that, I'll put that on, and I'm liable to get in my way when I'm trying to adjust the thing, because that's where the screwdriver has to get in there. Hey, well, if I have to take it off, I'll take it off. Yeah, so I put the air cleaner on it. Just got a hose going here to here. There was another vacuum hose type connection underneath here, but I blocked it. Same as I blocked the one there. I don't know for sure what it was for, what it is for. Who knows? Might have been something to do with the California rules. Then this bracket here was all bent out of shape the wrong way. So I turned it around the right way and got it bent into shape, sort of. And then these rubber things here were disintegrated. Can you see them? One there, one there, one there. But I happen to have in my pile of stuff over there some of these rubber things with the right size thread on them even. Anyhow, that's all right. This is still pending the return fuel line. Don't know what to make of that. I have to put the windshield water thing in there. But I think what I'll do next is start putting together a little bit of the interior. I'll put the dashboard in. Let's see what happens if I start it up with the air cleaner on it. Haven't done that. Oh, like that, eh? That runs pretty quiet. I think I can get to this thing here to do the adjustment on the carburetor down there later with the air cleaner on it. That's pretty good. Anyway, there you go. Okay, start working on some interior stuff. Yeah, so before I do any dashboard stuff, these three wires here were cut when the stuff was removed. So, and just put them back together with the butt connectors, and then hang on, I'll get this together. Yeah, so the red and white, a brown, and a brown with purple on it. So I'll put some of that loom tape on there if I can find it, and then... Yeah, before I put it all back together, I put some epoxy on this right here. Hopefully that'll hold once it hardens. I'll have to let it harden for a while. Anyhow, now, but in the meantime, I put in the Speedo cable. It goes through that little thing there, and then through that holder there, and then up. And then I finally got around to, well, I couldn't get around to, I finally got this thing, this bracket here that holds, can you see that? This bracket holds those hydraulic hoses and just keeps them from rumbling around, I suppose. And I also, don't know if you can see up in there. Can you see up in there? Yeah, those two wires there, they're the wires for the, what do you call that? The wires for the, starter relay. So now I've just stuck them on there, and I'll check them occasionally and see if they've got any life to them, if that switch there is starting to work for the starter relay. I still have to put the reverse lights on there, but that's not a problem until I have lights in the car, right? That was a bit of a failure. I mixed the wrong things. I don't know what like that should be going with that. I mixed that with something else, and it never ever hardened or did anything. So cleaned it all off again. See if I can mix another batch and see if I can make this work this time. Yeah, I got this wiring diagram out again, and finally figured out that brown and blue wire goes here, brown on that side. That's just to complete the circuit. And then down here on this, there's a switch on the brake regulator there, and it's also got the same, it just goes to the brake warning light when it's triggered. So that solves those wires. Now I don't think I have any more hanging wires. This one I know what it is, so it's all right. This one is the thing for the diagnosis thing, but down here, this one here, very unknown what that one is. Maybe someday it'll show up. Maybe I'll just see what colors they are, and maybe I can trace it out. Yeah, there my epoxy is hardening up. I'm going to leave that till tomorrow before I do anything, because that'll be nice and hard then. And now I've cleaned up the dashboard and ready to go in with the dashboard. I've got the speedometer cable up here. That's the wiring for the back of this, whatever you call that, instrument panel. This thing here, maybe it's some sort of a relay sticks in there. I'm not sure. Don't know. Not knowing. Oh well. But I'm happy that I've got those other wires figured out. This one here goes down to the reverse light thing. Got to figure out where the wires are for that one of these days, but that's coming soon. Yeah, there. Can you see that? That's the repair on the epoxy on the connector there. That should hold it together. It's not like it's a pressure point. Now there's 1, 2, 3 places it hooks on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and there's 2 places on the top, and just gets screws on the top here. But I'll put little bolts in here. Okay, see if I can put this in. Do you want to watch? Want to see what happens? Watch this. Don't know what'll happen, for sure. See if we can do it without scratching much paint up. Or breaking anything. Here we are. So one screw fits right down in there, another screw over there. I'll get a couple of nice screws to sit in there and see what happens. And I don't think I broke anything here. No, they all still solid. I found the little thing goes there. I wonder if I should put the wire in there. No, it'll fit. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, that's good for now. Okay, so here I am in the back of the clock. Can you see any of that? Or anyhow, this is the mechanism here. It turns one way or the other. Once that wheel starts turning, then the clock actually does work. So this is all the stuff that goes, and that was seeming to turn the stuff, right? See that little magnets there? That gets onto, I think, on the side of this thing. Makes it go. There must be an oscillator of some sort in here. So maybe I'll put this back sort of together. Wonder where this goes. Maybe there, maybe not. Wait, I'll just, yeah, that one's got a stopper on it, right? And that one up here has this for a stopper. So I guess that's the way it goes. I'll put this on here and then I'll put some energy to it and see what happens. I'll clean that off a bit. Maybe is that transistor bad, or is there a bad connector here? It looks like all those connections are good. Not that I would know any different. Okay. Yeah, there I put some 12 volts to it and it's going like beat the band there. Now I'm going to go and just turn the clock back to somewhere where I know it started and see if it's actually keeping time now. Might just need a bit of lube in there somewhere. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, that's at 7:30 now. So I'll just leave it for 10 minutes and see what happens. And that's at 12:22. Maybe if I put this to 12:22 it'll be a better thing, eh? So I'm turning it around to 12:22. Sorry. 12:20-ish. But then the negative came off somewhere. I wonder where that went. Right here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so put the electricity up to it again. Seems to be getting it excited. Takes it a minute to come to life. Then it starts going. So I'll just let it tick away for a while. 12:20 now. That's 12:23. Yeah, so I pulled this apart and checked out all the gears. There seems to be one of these, the gears are stripped on one of them because it's not turning it the way it's supposed to. Or it turns it a certain amount and then just stops right there. So that must have hit the stripped gear somewhere there. I think right on this gear here. Oh well, I think that's the end of the fixing business here. Meanwhile, I put it back together and it had it all together, and I dropped, well, I had it half together and I dropped one of those little gears on the ground, and it took me half an hour to find the damn thing. I looked and looked and looked everywhere on the ground, and then I decided I'd better just check the bottom of my shoes, and don't, you know, stuck in the bottom of my shoe was the little gear. Didn't hurt it any, I think. Well, it doesn't matter because it's one of the gears there is no good. I don't know how, if I had new gears it would work fine, that clock. Okay, that's sort of in there. The last two things to go on are these two things here. I was able to find the headlight switch, goes in and out. Rear defrost light goes in and out. Cigarette lighter I have over there. This light here is a dummy, that's just a dummy, nothing there on that. And I was able to get the speedometer hooked up. Clock will not work. I think the wiring's all set for everything in there. Get these things out of the back. You have to reach up in behind and find the little nut that it goes on, but then not too bad. And even getting the speedometer isn't too bad. It's like they have a very long nut mechanism, or nut mechanism for it, that you can reach at from behind. You don't have to put the speedometer cable in before the dash goes in. You put it in after the dash goes in. The cable that runs the electricity you put in before the dash goes in. And make sure you get all these lights and stuff in there before you put the dash in, because otherwise you won't get in there. Okay. Yeah, so I went through all the fuses and put the right ones in. Yellow is 5 amp, white is 8 amp, red is 16. And the biggest amperage it draws on any of them is 16. So 1, 2 is 5 amps, 3, 4 is 8 amps, 5, 6 is 5 amps, 7 is 16 amps, 8 is 8 amps, excuse me, 9 is, where is 9? 16 amps, 10 is 16 amps, 11 is 8 amps, and 12 is 16 amps. So they're the right amperage in there now. See if they'll work sometime. Yeah, okay, that's enough for today. Anyhow, I've got Paul and Carolyn are coming to visit. Gotta go get ready. See you later. Paul.
Cute Paul.
Yeah, hey, how are you? Paul's here.
What's happening?
Working on his motorcycle parts. I didn't do any filming on that.
It's a good thing, because...
yeah, oh, it was all right. We did well.
We did well.
Yeah.
The welding was done.
We fixed it up. Welding aluminum. Welding stainless steel to aluminum. And then welding steel to stainless steel. It all worked out pretty good. Okay, and that was just for his fairing on his motorcycle. Now, here we are. I did get an oil pressure gauge here that fittings don't fit. But I do have now a tachometer gauge. Is that it? Yeah, this is from our friends over across the ocean. And it's just a digital little tachometer that I want to use for getting this thing timed up right. But of course, to start with, the little switch on the back here to make it from 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder can't get moved across. So I have to take it apart here and see if I can get that to sort that out first. Okay. Oh, 530 is 800 on here. So 610 is, wait a minute, I'll check that. This little tachometer here is set for, I don't know if you can see those numbers, yeah, is set for 6-cylinder motor, and it's broken on that spot. So the 610 here is equivalent to about 900 RPM on a 4-cylinder. So we're happy with that. Oh yeah, we got help. Tony's here, and Paul and Carolyn are here. Paul, Carolyn, just in case you're confused.
It's Robert Redford.
Robert Redford and Jackie Onassis right here with us. Just returned from the Magdalene Islands to a cruise of the Magdalene Islands to resurrect this thing here, which we're going to start it up and see if we can drive it out of here. It's got chairs in it. It does not have, it's not completely assembled, but it's getting closer. It's got a motor and stuff like that. So we'll give it a try. We have a camera woman here, Jackie O on the camera.
Doesn't that sound pretty?
You're good there. You got about 3 feet.
It sounds so pretty.
We'll come back to you, darling.
It sounds so pretty. Tony, get out of the way, Tony. Come. Tony, he's not moving. Tony, move. Tony, move. Move, move, move. Come on. I can't kick him. Tony, you're gonna get run over. Come on, move, 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 move. Come, 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 come. Good cat. Good cat. Good cat. Come here. Okay, bye, boys.
You're filming now. Get yourself comfortable.
How can I be comfortable? There's no seatbelt.
How can I be comfortable?
And the door.
And the door is going to fly open.
I'll make sure that we'll take inside.
Paul, look
quarters.
after the kids if I'm not back. So what do you want me to take a picture of?
Just as we're traveling. The traveling roadshow.
Hi, cheers!
There we are. Got reverse. We'll make our corner down there. We have brakes.
Well, it's a lovely day. Oh my gosh! We're driving down towards the beach. We could probably get all the way there in this car. It wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah, it wouldn't make any difference. We'll go around.
One-handed driver. He doesn't even have to change gears.
No, it's an automatic.
It's an automatic. Oh, it sounds so sweet. You're doing well, Lauren. Where are we going?
To the end of the world.
Oh no!
Oh no, we're all in the car. Hang on to your door.
I'm holding onto the door, but like I say, there are no seatbelts in here. It's getting a little scary.
Yeah, one-handed steering.
One-handed steering.
I should get one of those wheelie things, right?
Oh yeah, that you just grab onto like a pickup truck.
Yeah,
I don't even know what those are called.
wheelie things.
Wheelie things. Okay, so now I'm getting a red flashing light on my camera. Does that mean
That means you're recording.
Look at all this sweet stuff in here. Doesn't it look sick? Okay, I'm back. Phew.
Made it.
Okay. Now you want me to turn it off?
Yeah, turn it off.
Hang on. My gosh, you're gonna have to start paying money.
Perfect.
There's no seat belts. There's no windshield.
Yeah. Oh, and there's no windshield.
Woo! Jeez, his door almost flew open. But it does sound like a nice little car.
It does, actually. It really purrs.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, through the field. I don't think I've met that guy. That's your husband? Oh, okay, I only see you, Helen. Yeah, like why this isn't roadworthy, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to pass the safety. I'm sure it's going to pass the safety. I'm sure it will, no problem.
Up in Helen. These aren't that tough anymore.
Douglas, I don't think I met you face to face before. I'm Carolyn. I'm Paul's wife.
Yes, exactly, Carolyn.
That's who I am.
Said she's coming up to say hello to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always see Helen because she comes
Yeah.
in and goes
Yeah.
and comes in and goes.
Well, I remember Paul.
Yeah, and
before, but I must say I can't remember you.
yeah,
either,
we
Paul.
probably just scooted in and scooted out.
Oh my God, what a what a guy! The stuff he buys and rebuilds.
Yahoo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! But he survives.
For the knee replacement, I thought there's a lot of people around here that use the elbows and
Yeehaw! It's fun! It's a fun car.
But once you retire, you have to be probably in your mid-70s. I'm only 73. So
You want to drive, Paul?
Yeah.
Lauren's driving school.
The leaf right above Paul's head there and jammed in the door. There's a leaf.
The last time we were here, he was buzzing around in the Triumph.
Oh yes. Are you guys here Friday night?
No.
Oh.
No, we're
there's
leaving.
a potluck.
I know, we heard.
Oh.
Margaret was on the deck today to
Yeah.
tell us that.
Yeah.
But we're going to miss it because
Oh, too bad.
we didn't have... we're retired, but we have a dog, you know? So you got to go home. Okay, bye, boys. Never been there.
Bob.
Be careful. It's turning into rush hour traffic. There's cars behind you. You don't have indicator lights. Pull in, pull in, pull in. It does, it does. It does.
Okay, so I've been out for a couple hours here and just going over some stuff, and I figured I'd retorque the head, which I did, down to 54 foot-pounds, and then I also readjusted all the valves. There was only a couple of them that were out a little bit, so they're adjusted up. Now I was also working on trying to get it tuned and timed, so I did static timing. The mark, see how the mark is there now? Static timed to there, those two things. Anyway, I think that's closer to right than it was before, but I just can't seem to figure out how to get the light to work down that hole there. I can't see anything. But anyhow, I'll keep working on it and see what I come up with. Oh, yeah, there. So I came out with the intention of starting to work on the headlights and putting them in, because I think that'd be a good thing to do. Then I sort of wandered a bit. So I've been working on this carburetor, trying to get it adjusted, and it just, no matter what I do, I can't seem to get it adjusted properly. The idle, it runs nice when you rev it up, and you know, that just, all motors run nice when you rev them up, but it won't idle properly, and it won't, you know, it won't settle down nicely. Could be that I have to replace that carburetor, but I'm going to just work on it a bit more and see if I can make it happen here. I have a machine, a device to measure the CO2 out of the pipe, and the lowest I got it to come down to was 1.5. Now, there it is at, I don't, can you read that? 2.0. It says that's what you calibrate it to, and let it sit there for quite a while. Calibrated to 2.0, and it just pumps a little bit of air through the system, and that's normal. CO2 levels in the air are 2.0, give or take a bit. So then you put it in the pipe, and it should go down to, the CO2 should go down to 1.3 or 0.8 to 1.2, something like that. Anyhow, haven't got there. I got down as low as 1.5 one time. You know, it runs, and everything runs okay. And then while I was here, I'd readjusted the valves and stuff like that. So anyway, now I'll start it up and see if I can get that thing to calibrate, see if I can figure out what's going on. Oops, see that rough idle, eh? Rough idle. It shouldn't be like that. Oh, gotta get rid of a bit of gas to make it go. Hang on. See what happens. So when you rev it, it runs nice and smooth. A little bit of a miss there somewhere, but that's about, I think that's 740 here. I'm not sure. So I should be able to put that thing in the exhaust pipe and it should tell me
That thing there should change after about a minute or so.
or something like it.
Yeah, now it goes up to 2.1.
I'll let it set for a minute. Yeah, so that's as far as I got today. Anyway, maybe tomorrow I'll put the headlight buckets in. I got to do some work on them. They need some help. So that'll be a chore for tomorrow. I just wanted to see if I could tune it up a little bit better, but I'll think about, I remember the last time I had one of these cars, I put a Weber carburetor on it and I was happy. So that might be what happens here again. That carburetor, I think, is a little bit wore out, but they run fine when you're going at speed, just not as good when you're trying to idle them down. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, so this is headlight bucket. Headlight bucket number 1 needs some cleaning and a little bit of repair. That one there and that one there are good. That one there needs a new bolt through there. The other side needs 4 new bolts through it. So just drill them out and put new bolts in. Put bolts in. Okay. Now but these are definitely need cleaning up and see what I can do about getting it apart here. I got it all taken apart into pieces. A little bit tough on them. Those nylon things for tightening, for adjusting. So I'll have to put some other ones in there. These tabs that hold the headlight on, 3 of them. Now this one here was locked up solid, so I drilled out and I was able to retap it. The other 2 I was able to get the screws out of them, old screws that were not much left of that, so I have to get M4 whatever 1.0 or something like that. What does it say over here? M4 by 0.7. M4 by 0.7. So this side here is ready. I gotta fix that right there. Otherwise I can put some paint on it, just rust paint over that. I've cleaned it off pretty well, and same with this, I've cleaned it off pretty well, and I'll just put some black paint on them, and I have to fix up this. This takes some fixing. I have to make some, that'll be a little bit of delicate welding if I can. We'll just see. Yeah, those things have had the aerosol overhaul, right? I just cleaned them up and cleaned them as best I could, and then put some rust paint on them. That should be all right. Now, these things here, see that tab there, that tab there, should be like that tab there. So I have to do something about that. And this is very difficult to weld onto, but I'll figure it out. It appears that this stuff here is brass, so I think I could just braze that little piece of steel on there, and that'll make that thing work. And then I'll clean it up a bit to make it look like that. Put the holes in it. See what happens. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, there. Well, there, I did one new tab on there, and that's like, it's got penetration there. You can see where it came through. So that should be a good weld on there. I know that the brass will stick to the brazing will stick to the steel, so just a matter of it making sure it sticks to the underneath there. And I just welded it around the top. It doesn't have to be especially strong. Well, just strong enough to hold a headlight in, right? So that's one done. Now I got 2 more to do, and I'll show you how how I did it. This one here, that's pretty easy to tell where the thing is supposed to bend right about there. So I can do that. And this one here, it should bend. I think that's the bend right there. So that's pretty easy to tell. So I've got a couple more tabs. Well, one anyhow, and got one here. That one's a bit big. Maybe that'll make 2 tabs if I cut it in half. Let's get a go on that. And I'll show you how I welded it. I used this, my HZX Welding, and I've got 0.6 millimeter wire in it. The lowest this thing goes is in the settings is 0.8, and then I set it to go on 0.8 millimeter diameters and the thickness of 2.1 millimeters on that thing there. So that makes it coming out at 7.3 meters a minute, and voltage is 14.6. So anyhow, it seems to do it. Like you get a pretty good bubble on it, but then after just grind down the bubble and it comes out pretty nicely. Yeah, there. This is where I've got a little tab like that, and it's too long this way, and it's the right height there, and then I'll just weld it onto here, I hope, and then go from there. Yeah, gotta put my hat on. Pretty near forgot. So I start on the thicker material, which is this steel, and then work it over to the brass. Yeah, that might have it. Yeah, so it got penetration right there, so that's welded on. Now I'll see about this other one here. I think the bend is right about there, where it's supposed to be. Oh, geez, that's hot. See if we can do this without welding the pliers to it. think that's got it. Pretty blobby. Now I'll go and grind it off on the belt sander. I'll let it cool a little bit first because it's hot. Okay, there it is. Now a little bit proud there, but that's okay. It can be that way, and that one too. I think we've got penetration through here, and we've got penetration through here. Ouch, that's hot. Through here, so I think we've got a pretty good weld there. Anyway, I'll clean this up and we'll get it back in and do the aerosol overhaul, right? So there I drilled some holes in them. I'm really lucky that even welded because I forgot to turn on the gas. Oh well, that's enough electricity will do everything, I guess. Anyway, you should turn on the gas when you're going to weld because that makes it work better. Yeah, so each one of the, excuse me, each one of these tabs have to be bent in a bit like that. This one here is just flat, but this one here bent in a bit to fit on there. This one fits here like that. That one has to be bent in to fit there, and this one has to be bent in to fit there. But now they all fit, so maybe the headlight will fit too. But I have to find some screws for those things. That'll be next. Anyway, I'll give these things a little paint job and let them dry off. Yeah, there's how they go back together. Not too difficult to get them together once you've figured out how to get them apart. So then these are the adjusters, and then that spring holds it just from flipping and flopping around. Okay, I'll get the other side together, maybe. Yeah, so this one that I ruined the thread on the plastic thing in there, I've just put a nut on this side of it, and the spring pulls it down all the time so that it works normal. Then that should be able to adjust that'll be fine. It'll adjust the headlights. Now, next is to try and get them into there, right? We'll see what happens here. Yeah, first thing I had to do is, I don't know, you can see back down where my finger is, I drilled a hole through there so that these wires can come up with the rubber thing up to here, and lots of coats of paint on them from years and years, but that's okay. Same on this side. Here you can see a bit better down there. Right there. Drilled a hole right there, and then it's got this rubber thing. What do you call that, I wonder? Anyhow, it's a rubber thing. Oh dear, goes around and keeps the wire from cutting there. Now, here's this wire here is for the horn, and this is for the headlight. So I can put the headlight assembly in now, and maybe things will start coming together. We'll see. Yeah, there's one headlight in. Had to make new screws for here. 3 of them. Now I got to find 3 more that'll fit. And I put this in. That looks all right. Then I've got the grill in over there, but that'll have to come out so I can put the headlight in. But that side's done. I think I'll put the grill in and see how it looks, right? That looks like half a BMW, right? The other half isn't quite. But now this thing here, I'm missing one of the fasteners for right there, which I'll have to fabricate. It's like a U-bolt thing. I'll show you when I get the other side off. Yeah, so there, that kind of a U-bolt there. I'll look around and see if I find one somewhere, but mostly it's we'll see. I'll get this one in anyhow, and that headlight there is installed. Okay, now it's time to get the grill on. Yeah, that's starting to look a little bit better. It's got eyeballs now. And maybe I'll see if they actually work. Maybe they do. How do you like that? I didn't even have to screw around. It just worked. That's regular beam, I think, then that was working a minute ago. Yeah, there. That's the flash, right? High beams, low beams, flash. Is everything just going to come to life in this car? Maybe. We'll see. Okay, well that's a sign, right? Okay, there. Now, that's the side light, or the light for whatever you call that thing. So I'll test it here. Oh, wonder what dropped there. That right there. Okay. Oh boy, there's too much stuff around, right? Okay, this thing here. Negative. I don't know. This is a 12-volt thing, right? Let's see what happens. That light works. And the other light works. Brighter. They're both the same brightness, aren't they? That's pretty bright. That's not as bright. I'm going to say that's the signal there. And that's the parking light there. Okay, now I can't see anything because I'm blinded. Signal light on this side over here, I think. Anyway, that's what I'm going to go with. If I have to change around, I'll change around later. Okay, this side here worked okay. The light circuit in there is all connected and working well, but the wiring isn't quite right to it. So anyhow, light doesn't come on, but the light circuit is okay. Then over on this side here, it was awful. So I couldn't get those little bolts out of there, so I couldn't hook up that, so I soldered a wire to each of those, but then that melted off on the back side inside here, so I had to resolder that. Now, let's see. That's signal light, and that's parking light, so they both work. And I'm just going to put them on with a wireless butt connector, and that will be, or not a wireless butt connector, a butt connector without insulation, and I'll just clip them together because there's lots of wire here, and if I have to take it apart and clip it sometime, that's fine. Doesn't hurt. Anyhow, now put it back together and see if it all works. So this wire here, which is gray and white and all sorts of paint on it, is the parking light on right hand side. And it goes to the fuse box into fuse number 8. Now I had this wired wrong, so this gray and this is a gray and I don't know, but that one there is black and white or black and gray or something, comes from the switch and powers fuse number 8. This green and white comes from the switch and powers number 7. I had green and white way over here, and I had gray and white here. So I was only getting power onto that one, which works now. See? And that one there gets power to it also. So that very confusing, this fuse box, because it's all connected except for a couple of wires that go in different places. So this green and white wire here, it supplies power for fuse 7. This black and white here supplies power for fuse 8. And then all of the, when you turn on the key, which is on, you get the headlights and everything here, like it goes through the relays properly everywhere down here. There's relays right here for the lights, and the switch is on here, and everything works right. Except sometimes that, yeah, just old switch. But anyhow, we have lights, so I'll get that thing back in, and then I'll be a happy guy. Yeah, there, a couple hours later, and don't you know, Oh, the key must be on. Yeah, so the headlights don't come on. They're parking light, number 1. Parking light, number 2. Then the headlights won't come on unless the ignition's on. And that's the way it should be, right? So then I can turn on the ignition. Headlights come on. Flashers, high beams, low beams, high beams, low beams. Seems to be okay. Now, let's go and spend an hour or 2 on the back side. See how that works out. Well, now, how do you like that? So, I've got the lights on the back here. Parking lights work. Don't know anything about signal lights yet because I don't know if I've got the stuff hooked up for that. Maybe I'll just flick the switch and see what happens, right? Who knows what'll happen. I think I need key on for that. Turn that off. Turn on the key. Nothing happening on the signal lights yet. Brake lights? Don't know. See if anything happens there. Don't know if I've got them hooked up either. But we'll just check and see what happens here. Don't think there's any brake lights there yet. Flashers work. Lots of action on those relays up there. I think that this ignition switch isn't the best in the world. Oh well. Now next is I guess figure out where the signal lights are. Who knows? Well, got parking lights. I had a minute ago. Still have them? Yeah. Oh yeah. I got to just turn them on. Parking lights. Yeah. So parking lights work. Now get the rest of the lights working on it. That would include the reverse lights and everything like that. So, oh well, that's all right. Coming along. And it kind of looks all right with that on there. Should I put the latch on the hood here so it'll open and close maybe? That'll be a challenge. I forget how that goes together. That's my rope. Okay, maybe that's next on the list. Okay, parking lights work, so that's good. I can getting there. I think I have to put a bunch of stuff together in the dash to get the signal lights to work. Don't know for sure yet. I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, so this thing here, which is the reflector light, and this one is also a reflector light. Now that one, see that's got that little nib there for lining it up. It's got 3 holes here, 1, 2, 3. But the other side doesn't have that little nib for lining up. So what I did was I took masking tape, put it across here, across here, across here, and then marked those holes on the masking tape, turned it inside out, moved it over to the other side, and that's where this one will sit on, right like that. Does that look right? I think it's okay. Kind of lines up at the back of that thing. Let's have a look at this one here. See if we're anywhere near right. Because this one is the original fender. Yeah, and that kind of lines up at the back of that, so that's pretty good. Okay, I'll clean up that and put it on. Drill a couple of holes over there. Don't need 3 holes, only need 2. So, and that's like this is the sticky side of the tape here now, because I've just taken it over and put it on this side, mirror image sort of thing, right? And that gives it. And I put a line right. You can see that little black line there, and black line there, where those things line up. And this is on the bottom of that, and that gives you the measurement down. I've done the same on the back bumper stuff. I have the tape sitting over there. It's been there for a couple of months. Hopefully I still have it. Yeah, okay. This one went on. Well, lots of trouble because there's not enough room for your hand behind there to get the little bolt on. Anyhow, but that's on. And then this one here, hour later, it's still not on that well. It's on, but I think I need a new one for here. The nuts at the back of it, you can't see in there, but the little nuts at the back of it, and this one up at the front is stripped. And I worked and tightened it up, and then found out it just fell off. That's disappointing. Anyway, I suppose I could take the one off the back, which seems to be a fairly good nut, and put it on the front and see if that would make it happen. Oh dear. Okay, I'll work on that a bit. Anyhow, this one, and then the little glass thing broke in here, so I've just got double-sided tape, like trim tape they call it, to hold on this thing onto there. So that will require replacing someday down the road. There, it's tight on there now. I took it off, cleaned the threads, and found some little nuts that would fit the threads. I don't know, can you see that in there? That's right up. Oh, where is it? Right there. Okay. Anyway, there. That's tight, everything's tight. And it's just a reflector, you know, but it's part of the look of the car. Anyway, where am I? I'm looking the wrong way. There I am. So, that's enough for today. It might be, let me just think about this for a minute. Yeah, I'm going to call it, that's enough for this week. Lights are working now. They're there. Like this one's just a reflector, it doesn't have a light in it. These ones here do have, however, have a side light on them. That tail light's working, that side light's working, so those lights are working. I've got a bunch of work to do to get the blinkers in going, because I have no idea, not knowing yet where it is, but I'll figure that out as next week sometime. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it all, and we did get it out for a spin. Hey, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So, and come on back next week. Well, make sure, like, subscribe, do what you like there, and come on back next week and see what's going on then. Okay, bye. Okay, here I am. It's all that excitement from the Magdalene Islands is done, and back at normal. No more visitors for now. It was fun to have Paul and Carolyn here. There's a bunch of ducks out there. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them anyhow. 5. And yesterday there's another couple of ducks over there. 6, 7. Yesterday there was a heron at the back of the pond also. That's good. The tide's kind of up. I think it's on the way in still. And this thing here, absolutely full of rose hips, big rose hips, size of an apple. Yeah, nobody on the beach. There goes the heron. I knew there'd be one around here somewhere. Going over to the other pond. Yeah, where there's less dogs around. Hey. Okay, there you go. See you later. There is a dog here. Checking out where the heron was. Yeah, there he is.